Awaken to hair growth. Awaken to hair growth because there is possibility to get your hair back. Awaken to hair growth because we're not told that we're able to conquer and overcome alopecia. Awaken to hair growth because I want to be a positive light and beacon for you because I've healed my alopecia and now I help others do the same with different types of alopecia, men, women, children of all ages, of all races and ethnicities. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Alopecia Angel podcast, Awaken to Hair Growth. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Today, we are going to talk about 8 hair myths, and these are hair myths that are essentially myths that aren't true. Things that people have told you, things that doctors have told you, things that just aren't straight true, and they're myths in regards to hair loss. So let's get into it. Number 1, hair loss is because of your age. And this is a typical one that you see online. It's a typical one that you see and hear from people, from doctors, from just society in general. And I'd like to say, no, it's not because of your age. And granted, as we get older, things do change and things do start to evolve. But that doesn't mean that we have to become unhealthy. That doesn't mean that we just, have to lose our hair or lose muscle mass or lose our senses or lose our health in so many areas. That's not necessarily true. If you start looking, I like to look at my grandma, or I like to compare old people in general to see how they're aging. And aging is a choice. You can age, like a rotten apple and just, sit out there and, just kind of like wither, or you have the choice to be active, be strong, and take up sports and take up new things so that you are mentally, physically, emotionally, consistently growing and evolving. And yes, it's effort. Yes, it's work, but I think it's almost blasphemy to say that it's because of your age and, oh, well, there's nothing you can do. And, oh, well, it's because you're old and this is why all these things are happening. No, it's not, because you can have an old car and it can run perfectly because of we've maintained it, because we, do all the checkups that it needs. Or you can have a new car and it can be, broken real quick because of lack of support, lack of maintenance, lack of so many other things. And so the way you treat your body is essentially the outcomes that you're going to get, right? If you're always treating it in a certain way, that's the repercussions of that. And so I would say that hair loss is not because of your age. It's because of how you're living. It's because of your, day-to-day, your diet and lifestyle, your habits, and what you're doing. And a lot of times we don't realize that everything we do, everything around us plays a part in our health, everything. And this is exactly what I go into in the Hair and Heal program, because it's not just diet, it's not just, lifestyle. There are so many other factors that contribute to our health and to our well-being. And of course, that trickles down into the aging process as well. So it's not because of your age, because hair loss can happen at any age, as we know, and it can also happen, at any time of life. So it's not because of your age. The next myth number 2, is because you color your hair too much. And I will say that as someone who does color their hair, I've been getting highlights since I was 13, 14. Okay, it's not the best thing for my hair. Yes, I understand that there are chemicals in hair dyes, in highlights. There are toxins and chemicals in that, but it's not necessarily because of coloring my hair. Because even during alopecia, I was still coloring my hair. It was the only thing that was keeping me sane, was to color my hair and, look like myself to some extent. And so it's not because of the color. Now, I will say that many hairstylists and, hairdressers, you might notice when they do dye your hair, let's say if it's jet black or blue, or the latest is gray and all these other colors and purple and greens, that they wear gloves. And they wear gloves because there are a lot of dyes, there are a lot of chemicals and toxins in the dye, and it does seep through your skin. and it will seep in through your scalp. You know, if you're dyeing your hair every 6 weeks, as normally you would need to for your roots not to show, but you're not losing your hair because of the dyeing process or because of the coloring. Now, granted, it's not the healthiest, but it's not because of that either, right? So that's a myth. That's a big myth too. Myth number 3, that you can heal your alopecia, your hair loss with topicals alone. And I get this a lot when I come across people and I tell them, oh, I help people with alopecia, with hair loss to regain their hair growth. They tell me, oh, what kind of shampoo do you have? What kind of serum do you have? And I'm like, no, I don't sell shampoos. I don't sell serums. And, you know, we always think that it's going to be something topical. Even when you go to the dermatologist, they're giving you a cream. They're giving you squaric acid for some of you. They're giving you some sort of solution, some sort of, you know, they're recommending Rogaine, they're recommending minoxidil, they're recommending some sort of topical, right? A serum of some sort, or maybe even an injection to your scalp. And topicals don't work. Topicals do not work, and they have lots of side effects. And so topicals will not bring you your long-term, long-lasting hair growth. And many of you have tried the minoxidils. Many of you have tried laser caps and PRPs and serums and shampoos and the Monats and anything else. And it's just that. It's the same topicals that are actually causing hair loss. And it's funny because if you were to do a quick Google search to see, you know, which shampoos have hair loss issues with them or who have lawsuits against them, it's Monat. It's a bunch of others that I have listed on my social media accounts that have come into, you know, the news outlets having lawsuits against them. And so many times it's the same product that quote unquote promotes hair growth, which in reality gives you the opposite side effects. I know my mom and actually a friend of mine were using this one shampoo called Biotin and Collagen. And this was a brand, I think it's by OGX, that you can use anywhere. You can buy it anywhere. I saw it in Europe, I see it in the US, and it's still on the shelves. It's actually made by Johnson & Johnson owned. And that one was found to have hair loss side effects. And there's an ingredient in this line of shampoos that creates hair loss. And so a lot of times we think that something's going to help us and it gives us the opposite effect. And when it comes to hair loss, a topical solution will not heal it. A topical solution is just a gimmick. That's really what it is. And that's not how you need to approach the hair loss. That's not what's going to work. That's not what's going to save you. It's not what's going to heal you. It's not the solution. So that's a myth. Topicals will not heal your alopecia. So that's myth number 3, thinking that they will. Myth number 4, certain people only will heal alopecia or can get their hair back, or it will work for some people and not for all. And when it comes to gimmicks, so for example, when it comes to lotions, potions, serums, shampoos, laser caps, etc., it doesn't work for anybody. I can guarantee you that. Over the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that I've helped, none of them have said that this has worked or that has worked. And when something quote unquote works for a little bit, it stops working after a little bit later. So let's say the cortisone shots gave you some hair. Well, lo and behold, 6 months later, it'll stop working. Or lo and behold, 6 months later, you're going to have this massive reaction to it. And it's just not going to continue to work because it's not a long-term solution. It just isn't. And when it comes to the Hair and Heal program, people think that, oh, you know, only certain people will heal. And that's not true. Anyone can heal because you are placed in the driver's seat. You are placed and you're given full control of your own health. And that's the key. You are put in the driver's seat. You have full control over your fate of your hair growth, over your fate of your hair loss. So you get to choose which path you want to take. You want hair growth or you want hair loss, and you decide, right? And that's the beauty of it. So next myth is that there's a time lapse. The time lapse meaning that, oh, it's been 10 years, it's been 20 years, it's been 50 years, and I've had hair loss, or I've had alopecia for 60 years and I can't heal it, and it won't work for me because of the time, right? Because so many years and decades have passed, and that's not the case. And I actually had a client right now, a current client, and she has alopecia universalis. And she's seen the success stories that I've had with children, right, who've also had alopecia universalis. And she thought before signing up for the program that, oh, I won't be able to heal because I have alopecia universalis. And I was like, no, I have success stories. And she's like, no, but they're children. I'm like, yes, but they're people. And just because they're children doesn't mean you can't either. And so then I showed her other success stories of women her own age or older who are moms, who are wives, etc., who have also healed their alopecia universalis with me. And then it's just like she had nothing more to say. And a lot of times it's our own limiting beliefs. It's our own ego that's holding us back and saying, nope, sorry, Johanna, you can't heal. Nope, sorry, Natalie, it's not your turn. Nope, sorry, this is not for you. And so a lot of times it's our own ego. It's our own, negative mind chatter that's holding us back from the possibility of healing, from the possibility of going for our goals, for going the extra mile, for, achieving what we want. And there are all these success stories, and yet this client was still saying, it's not going to happen for me. And so now she wrote me and she told me that she found the root cause and she already knows. And she's so excited because she knows that from here on out, like, this is the beginning and this is it. This is the beginning of her hair growth. And so she's very, very excited. And she sees now that it is possible for her, and it's possible for everybody. And so regardless of how long you've had alopecia, whether it's 5 days, 5 hours, 5 years, or 50 years, you can still heal and reverse it. It's never too late to heal and reverse something. It's never too late to heal and reverse hair loss. Why is that? Because again, with modification, with changes, with, new learned habits and skills, you're able to, again, put yourself in the driver's seat and control the scenario, control your life, control the hair loss, control the hair growth. And this is the beauty of the Hair and Heal program. It's never too late. So it's whenever you decide that you want to stop the hair loss and that you want to get on with hair growth, that would probably be the best time to join, would be that. The next myth is that diet has nothing to do with your hair growth. And I've had numerous clients tell me this and tell their dermatologists and their doctors this, and their doctors say, nope, diet has nothing to do. Nope, diet has, no implication on your hair growth. And while they're in my program, they're seeing these doctors, right? And the doctor's saying all the contrary of what they're learning in the Hair and Heal program. And yet they're seeing results, but not because of the doctor, but because of, what they're doing and seeing and implementing within the program. And they know now the truth of how to heal it, right? And the problem is that the medical establishment can't box up and package diet and lifestyle in a pill. So it's like they can't make money off of it. And when you can't make money off of a pill, off of, let's say, any pill that, that creates and generates huge amounts of revenue, then you're at a loss, right? You can't patent diet and lifestyle. You just can't. And, actually, a lot of times governments and countries and school systems get it wrong. Their pyramid, of nutrition is wrong on so many levels. And so this is part of the problem. We're not taught how to really be at an optimal health. We're not taught to thrive. We're taught to raise our hand, to just like succumb to whatever is given to us and just say yes and no to, the prescriptions, and we're not really given choices. And so when it comes to the Hair and Heal program and this process, this journey of mine to really heal from the inside out, it's been a radical movement. And for many people, it's a very radical way of thinking and living. And you know, it's amazing because I attract more and more people who are in the medical community. In my current program, I have a CEO of a pharmaceutical company. I have a doctor. I have a registered dietitian. I have nutritionists, personal trainers. I mean, you name it. People in the health and wellness community do my program because they are suffering from alopecia, and they know and they see that there's no opportunity to heal it with medicine. There's no opportunity to truly heal it and put it to sleep with conventional medicine. That's not the way. And, the sooner you see this, the sooner you realize that there's no long-term results there. There's just going to be long-term harmful side effects, which are unfortunate, really, especially when you're dealing with children. But of course, when you're dealing with adults too, no one wants harmful side effects, right, to their health. So diet has everything to do with healing, but diet isn't the only thing. There's so much more other contributing factors to healing. And within the program, you see all the different categories within lifestyle, this big umbrella of lifestyle, and there's multiple categories all the way down. Diet is also important because it's something we do every day, but it's not the only thing. And lifestyle is much more bigger than, eating, sleeping, yoga, and meditation. It's so much bigger than that. You have no idea. And so anything that you are thinking that you already know or you've already conquered, you haven't. Because if you still are seeing hair loss, you still have a blind spot. And this is the key. We uncover all the blind spots within the Hair and Heal program. And so even if there is something that you think has been, put to sleep long time ago, it can resurge. And so it's an amazing investigative proven method to really heal you in less time. And it's a beautiful thing. It really is. All right. So on to the next myth, that there's no control, that you cannot control your hair loss. And that's baloney. That's hogwash. That's a lie and a myth. You can control your hair loss, just like you can control your attitude, just like you can control your mindset, just like you can control what you eat, just like you can control what time you're going to bed tonight, just like you can control where you're going today, who you're going to see, what you're going to do. You can control your hair loss. You really can. I actually have a client who we were speaking the other day, and she's had hair loss for 5 years straight, 5 years straight. And I didn't ask her, but I probably should. Like, why did it take you 5 years to just continue to have hair loss? Like, what was going on? Like, what were you doing? Like, how come you didn't nip this in the butt sooner? And lo and behold, sometimes our journeys, take us one way and another, and we are where we need to be sometimes until we get to that next level, right? And so she finally found me. She started my program. In 2 weeks, the hair loss stopped. In 2 weeks. Can you believe that? After 5 years of struggling with hair loss, in 2 weeks. And sometimes that's all it takes. And sometimes it's like your body is ready to heal, and your body is like waiting for you to pull the trigger on to invest in your health, and it's you keeping it from them, or it's you like holding back. And so a lot of times it could be that ego, it could be the negative mind chatter, and that actually leads me to the next myth and final myth. So myth number 7 was that we don't have control over our hair loss, when in actuality we do. We have 100% full control over our hair loss. And the last myth is the Hair and Heal program won't work for you. And what I'd like to say is that it won't work for you like your car won't work for you. It will work for you, because in the car, you're in the driver's seat. So it's like, if you want to go home, if you want to go to school, if you want to go to work, you know how to get to work. You know how to get to the mall. You know how to get to home. You know how to get to the school. You know how to get to your friend's house. You know where to get to and how to get there, right? And so in this case, you're in the driver's seat, but I'm telling you exactly how to go and where to turn next. And so the directions are given to you. I've mapped it out for you. And so in this manner, it's easily attainable for everybody. And it will work for you as long as you continue to be in the driver's seat. If you drive, I have the Google Maps for you. I have the map and the directions, and all you have to do is follow me. And it's that easy. The Hair and Heal program does work for anybody who wants it. And I think that's key. You have to want it. If you want your hair growth, then it's there for you. It really is. If you want it, it's there. If you don't want it and you just want something easy, like to take a pill or to take a shampoo or something like this, it's never going to happen. I'm so sorry, but it's never going to happen that way. It just won't, because there is no miracle solution in a bottle that will actually help everybody with all the different types of hair loss. There are so many different types of hair loss, so many different types of people. And again, the way you heal a 5-year-old is not the way you heal a 55-year-old. The way you heal a 25-year-old is not the way you heal a 40-year-old. It's all very different. This is why it has to be tailored. It has to be customized to you. And I think that's the key of success to the Hair and Heal program. We customize it to you. And so this way it does work for you. It works for you in every way. And there are no what ifs. It's just, you're in the driver's seat and you just gotta follow the map. That's it. And if you can follow directions, you are good to go. So that's it. So those are your 8 myths that I put the kibosh on, because hair loss can be yours. And it doesn't matter how long you've had it, your age, your race, your ethnicity. It doesn't matter if you colored your hair too much. I've colored my hair since I'm 13 and I still got my hair back. Topicals do not work, as I've already mentioned. It does work for all people. It doesn't matter how much time has passed, whether you've had alopecia for over 10 years, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. It can all come back. Diet has nothing to do with it. Well, that's not true. Diet has a lot to do with it. It's not everything, but it has a lot to do with it. No control. Yes, you do have control. And many times when having hair loss, you do think and feel that you don't have control. I get that. I was there. And this is why, as a type A controlling person, I do want to have control over my hair and my hair loss and my hair growth. And so now I give you the tools to do it. Now I give you the skills on how to get this under control in your hands, because it's your hands, it's your hair, your future. So you decide, do you want hair growth or do you want to perpetuate the hair loss? It really is up to you. So I'll leave you with those 8 hair myths and the truth behind them all. Take care. See you next time. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Alopecia Angel podcast, a positive light in healing alopecia. You can do this and we can help. Spread the word that reversing alopecia is possible by telling your friends and family.